G'day, I'm Chris Power, and today we're out at Maramura Forest and we're testing the WR450F. But this isn't any old WR, this is my WR. So, for the 2013 season, I'm going to be riding Yamaha's WR450F. Now, this is a bit of a change for what I usually ride, and I'm quite excited about it. I talked to Peter Payne from Yamaha, and he tells me these things go pretty good. And I have to say, after riding it for the last couple of months, I tend to agree. But like most racers, they want to tailor their bike to their own preferences. So for this WR, we've done quite a few things to it to make it fit my riding style and how I like to ride. Starting in the engine of the bike, it's stock, bog stock. Only thing we've done to it is change the mapping. From a standard mapping, which is all zeros, we've added a few pluses to that to make it really strong up top, but down low I've kept it nice and smooth, because the good thing about the WR, it gets good traction. So I wanted that nice traction, but when I did want the gas and turn the wick up, it's really there. After we got the map right, what we did is started playing with the exhaust pipe. Now the head is stock, it's got the power bomb, which is good. But out the back we've gone for the GYTR pipe. Now initially that was a bit loud, so what I've done is put an insert in the back, that's quietened it down so make it easy to ride. Now onto the rest of the bike. What I've done mostly is change the bike so it fits my riding style. Bigger springs in the suspension front and rear, just because I'm a big guy. We've changed the top triple clamp so I can move the handlebars forward, and I've also changed the bend of the bars to a 998. That's the Wyndham bend, because of course if it's good enough for Wyndham, it's good enough for me. On the braking front, things are pretty good on the WR, although I did notice because it's a full enduro bike, it's a tad heavier than the motocross one I used to ride. So what we've done, we've gone for the GYTR oversized front rotor. Now this thing stops anything. I tell you what, the stopping power on this WR now is phenomenal. Now over the past couple of seasons, what I've been doing with my clutch is running a hydraulic clutch. What this does is eliminate fading. Sure, the clutch on the WR here is pretty good, but it does fade a little bit, especially in the tight stuff and when doing enduros. So what I've done is I've put on an aftermarket Magura bolt-on hydraulic clutch. This thing's great. It lightens up the feel, and also when the bike does fade, obviously the clutch adjusts to that. The basket, clutch, springs, all the rest of it is stock. Now one more mod we made to the bike was remove the electric start. Now that might seem silly to half of you out there, but for a racer, less weight equals faster lap times. So what we did is we removed the electric start and the battery. And as well as that, we've replaced the wiring loom with a special race wiring loom from Australia. And this is what all the boys use over in Aussie to make the bike a bit lighter, and it gets rid of all that extra stuff like the indicators and all that kind of jazz, the relays, just because you don't need that when you're not an electric start bike. And the bike kicks perfect, so there's no problems there. So as you can imagine, along with bush riding, you're going to get a few knocks in there. So luckily GYTR has hooked me up with some cool protective stuff. They've given me radiator braces, bash plate and brake snake. I must say I've already gone through a radiator, but in saying that, it was during a race, 6-hour race, we did it in the first lap, and the radiator didn't break, all it did was bend. So those radiator braces, they really work well. If we hadn't had those, it would have been end of the line. So on the rubber front, Dunlop's still the driving on the WR. 51 intermediate Geomaxes. These things are good across the whole board. Wet, dry, they're really good and they really last. Now one thing you will notice about the WR is it really likes to be ridden standing up. It's got a good balance, good feel, and with the smooth power of the engine, it really does like to rail everything. It doesn't get away from you. When you get dial on the throttle, it doesn't jump away like a motocross bike would either. It hooks up, actually it hooks up too much sometimes. You find yourself getting on the gas early and all of a sudden you're around the corner before you know it. So you've got to really be careful about that. Like I said at the start, 2013 is going to be a real cool year for me. I'm riding the Yamaha WR450. I'm really excited about it, and all my same sponsors are on board again, so I'm really happy with that. So I just want to have a shout out to Yamaha, of course, for the awesome bike. All my sponsors, Chef, Fox, Castrol, Motormark, DID, JT Sprockets, Acherbys, all that stuff, Dunlop. Really appreciate all your help. And yeah, if you guys want to ride, hit me up at a trial ride, jump on the WR and see how it goes. You'll love it.